Imagine being trapped, not for minutes, but for almost an hour and a half, beneath a sheet of ice so thick that no scream could escape. A young woman, her body frozen, her heartbeat gone, her skin white as snow. Doctors whispered she was gone. But what if I told you that this is not where her story ended? What happened next left even science questioning what was possible. Before we dive into this incredible story of survival against impossible odds, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because what you're about to hear will change the way you think about the human body forever. May 20th, 1999, Northern Norway. The kind of perfect spring day, where the sun kisses fresh snow, and everything feels possible. Anna Bågenholm, a 29-year-old medical student, is out skiing with two friends, near Narvik. She's athletic, healthy, living her best life. You know, just another fun day on the slopes. But here's the thing about perfect days. They can turn into nightmares in a heartbeat. Anna's skiing down a steep slope when it happens. One moment she's carving through powder, the next, she hits a patch of thin ice over a mountain stream. The ice gives way beneath her skis, like glass shattering in slow motion. She plunges through, headfirst into the freezing water below. And here's where it gets terrifying. The current immediately pulls her under a thick sheet of ice. She's trapped, face down in water that's barely above freezing, with solid ice above her head. The fight for survival. Now, most people would panic, right? But Anna, she's got medical training. She knows what's happening to her body. She manages to find an air pocket, this tiny space between the ice and the water, and she's breathing through her nose, trying to stay calm. Her friends above are frantic. They can see her through the ice, but they can't break through. It's too thick, too solid. They're screaming her name, pounding on the ice with their ski poles, but Anna can't hear them. All she can hear is her own breathing getting slower, her heartbeat getting fainter. All right, so here's what's happening inside her body, and this is where it gets wild. Her core temperature is dropping fast. In water this cold, you've got maybe 10 to 15 minutes before hypothermia kicks in hard. But Anna's been under for 20 minutes, then 30, then 40. The rescue team arrives, but they can't get to her either. They're trying everything, ice axes, chainsaws, nothing's working fast enough. And through it all, Anna is conscious, fighting to stay alive in that tiny air pocket. The point of no return now. Here's the thing. After about 40 minutes in water, this cold, your body starts shutting down systems to preserve your brain and heart. It's called the mammalian diving reflex, and it's basically your body's last-ditch effort to keep you alive. But 40 minutes becomes 50, then 60. Anna's friends above watch in horror as she stops moving. No more bubbles. No more signs of life. The rescue team is still trying to cut through the ice, but everyone's thinking the same thing. They're too late. Finally, after 80 minutes, they break through. 80 minutes. That's longer than a movie. Longer than most people could hold their breath even once. When they pull Anna out, her body is lifeless. No pulse, no breathing. Skin blue-white like marble. The paramedics start CPR immediately, but honestly, they're going through the motions. Nobody survives 80 minutes in freezing water. Nobody. Clinically dead. They rush Anna to the local hospital, still doing compressions, still trying. But when they get her on the monitors, it's what everyone expected. Flatline. No brain activity. No heart rhythm. Core body temperature at 56.7 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that in perspective, normal body temperature is 98.6. She was colder than most refrigerators. The doctors look at each other, and you can imagine what they're thinking. This woman has been clinically dead for over an hour. Her brain has been without oxygen for 80 minutes. Even if they could restart her heart, the brain damage would be catastrophic. But here's where the story takes an incredible turn. The head doctor, he makes a decision that goes against everything in the medical textbooks. He says, "We're not giving up, not yet." The impossible decision. So they helicopter Anna to the university hospital in Tromsk, about an hour away. The whole flight, they're doing chest compressions on a woman who, by all medical definitions, is dead. The flight crew is probably thinking they're transporting a corpse, but they keep working. At Tromsk, they have something the local hospital didn't, a heart-lung machine. This machine can oxygenate her blood and warm it up gradually while her heart isn't beating. It's usually used during heart surgery, but the doctors figure, what do they have to lose? They hook Anna up to this machine, and for the next 3 hours, they slowly warm her blood, 1 degree at a time. Her body temperature creeps up, 60 degrees, 65, 70. Still no pulse, still no brain activity. Now here's the thing about hypothermia that most people don't know. When your body gets that cold, it's like hitting the pause button on life. Your metabolism slows down so much that your brain can survive without oxygen much longer than normal. But there's a catch. You have to rewarm the body perfectly, or the shock will kill you anyway. The first sign of life, at around 82 degrees, something incredible happens. The heart monitor shows a tiny blip. Then another. The doctors can barely believe what they're seeing. After being dead for hours, Anna's heart is trying to beat again. But one of the doctors tells me, and I'm paraphrasing here, we still didn't think she would make it. Even if we got her heart going, we expected severe brain damage. Nobody survives that long without oxygen to the brain. They keep warming her blood, keep watching the monitors. 86 degrees, 88, 90. And then, at around 98 degrees, her heart starts beating regularly. Not just random electrical activity, but an actual, steady rhythm. That's when they start thinking, okay, maybe her body will survive this. But the real question is, what about her mind? The awakening over the next few days. Anna slowly regains consciousness. And here's the miraculous part. She's completely aware. She knows who she is, where she is, what happened to her. No brain damage, no memory loss, nothing. The medical team is stunned. They run test after test, brain scans, cognitive assessments. Everything comes back normal. This woman who was clinically dead for hours is not just alive, she's perfectly fine. Anna later said she remembered being under the ice, remembered the air pocket, remembered the cold getting worse and worse. But then nothing, just darkness, until she woke up in the hospital days later, rewriting the medical books. So what happened here? How does someone survive 80 minutes underwater in freezing temperatures with no lasting damage? Well, the doctors think it was the perfect storm of factors. First, the water was cold enough to trigger that mammalian diving reflex I mentioned, slowing her metabolism to almost nothing. Second, she found that air pocket, giving her extra oxygen for the first part of her ordeal. And third, she was young, healthy, and athletic. But honestly, even with all those factors, what happened to Anna shouldn't be possible according to everything we know about human physiology. The medical journals called it the longest documented survival in the coldest temperature ever recorded in a human being. The recovery. Anna spent 2 months in the hospital, not because of brain damage or organ failure, but because of frostbite. Her hands and feet were badly damaged from the cold, and she needed multiple surgeries. But think about it. Frostbite was her biggest problem after being dead for 80 minutes. That's wild. The really incredible part. Anna went back to medical school. She finished her degree and became a doctor herself. She specialized in radiology, and she's still practicing today. The woman who died and came back to life is now saving other people's lives. The ripple effect. Anna's case changed how doctors approach hypothermia victims everywhere. There's now a saying in emergency medicine. Nobody is dead until they rewarm and dead. Her survival story has literally saved other people who might have been given up for dead too quickly. She's become one of the most studied hypothermia cases in medical history. Researchers still don't fully understand how she survived. But her case has led to new treatments and a better understanding of how the human body responds to extreme cold. The human element. You know what gets me about this story? It's not just the medical miracle. It's the human side. Anna's friends who never gave up, even when it seemed hopeless. The rescue team who kept cutting through that ice. The doctors who refused to pronounce her dead when everything said they should. Anna herself has said that she doesn't consider herself special or chosen. She just got incredibly lucky with a combination of factors that aligned perfectly. But I think that's what makes her story even more powerful. Sometimes, against all odds, the impossible becomes possible. The lesson here's what Anna's story teaches us about the limits of human survival. We think we know what the human body can and can't do, but cases like this show us we're still learning. The line between life and death isn't as clear-cut as we thought. Anna was technically dead for hours, but some part of her, some spark, was still there, waiting for the right conditions to come back. It makes you wonder about consciousness, about what it really means to be alive. The lasting impact. So, was Anna Bågenholm really dead? Medically speaking, yes. Her heart stopped. Her brain showed no activity. Her body temperature was incompatible with life. But she came back, completely intact, defying everything we thought we knew about human survival. Today, Anna lives a normal life in Norway. She's a respected radiologist. She skis again, though probably not on thin ice over mountain streams. She rarely talks about her experience publicly, saying she just wants to move on with her life. But her story lives on, in medical textbooks, in emergency rooms around the world, and in the minds of everyone who hears it. Because sometimes, just sometimes, the impossible happens. And when it does, it reminds us that there's still so much mystery left in what it means to be human. Anna Bågenholm died on May 20, 1999, under a sheet of ice in northern Norway. And then she lived. How's that for rewriting the rules? If this story amazed you as much as it did me, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more incredible survival stories. What do you think? Have you ever heard of a more remarkable case of human survival? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the most impossible stories turn out to be the most true ones of all.